At the UPS Store, we know being a small business owner means holiday time is still go time. Still get those orders shipped time. And still re-up on stamps and supplies time. That's why this upcoming holiday, while others close up shop, we'll be open. And happy to help you keep being unstoppable. Come into your local store today. Most locations are independently owned. Product, services, pricing, and hours of operation may vary. See Center for details. The UPS Store. Be unstoppable.
In Nevada, a Black Friday sale brought about a riot in a local mall. In Silicon Valley, Apple issues a warning on a new scam known as ClearFake. In Indiana, a man is arrested when a handgun is found in a place you wouldn't expect to find a handgun.
Mm-hmm.
These stories and more coming at you today, Friday, December 1st on Real Life Real Crime Daily, and I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino. Ho, ho, ho. December's here.
It is indeed.
And I got greeted at about the stroke of midnight by a college student with a broken foot jumping out of a stadium because he was being chased by police. That made me
proud father.
A proud father, and just a little bit tired this morning.
And probably you're a little jealous because you didn't do it back in your fraternity days.
Well, what I did tell him at the end was that it would be a story he'd be telling for the rest of his life, because that is what the only thing he will get out of that is that
it'd be a swim story.
Actually, 3 idiots all broke their foot at doing the same freaking stunt.
Sweet, someone who's you or him.
Yeah. Well, I'll tell you, if you're going to do it when you're young and
shit.
you don't have responsibilities.
I'm almost 54 and I'm still
You're still breaking that law.
Breaking the law. That's
right.
What Bees and Butthead, breaking the law.
Breaking the law. Yeah.
All right,
it's a great show.
We love and appreciate each and every one of y'all. Thank you for really sticking with us. Y'all don't know what it means. Our numbers don't lie. You're the best fans in the world. And let's get into some true crime time for Friday.
Yep. And we are going straight to Nevada. And look, Black Friday sales drive some people a little crazy.
Does it have anything to do with white rabbits?
What's that?
White rabbits.
What about them?
Nevada. Did I ever tell you a story about
white
rabbits? So I was doing work inside the city of Las Vegas, and back in my consulting days, we'll leave it at that. But I was kind of on stakeout outside this church in the wedding, and there were fucking white rabbits everywhere. Like in the bushes and shit, and running across the parking lot. I'm like, what the fuck? Am I on acid or something? Am I going down the wormhole? And come to find out, that's a real problem. Somebody had released their pet rabbits, and they're overbreeding in these suburbs of Las Vegas.
That must be where the term screwing like rabbits comes from.
Yeah, I tell you what, I'm going to go back there. Rabbits good eating.
Oh, yeah.
And then it's
white
rabbits with pink eyes. Maybe I was tripping. I don't know. I'm sorry to interrupt your story. Go ahead.
Well, we'll get back to Nevada.
They were everywhere.
That's it. A man at a Nevada mall was given a beat down. I'm talking a beat down by a bunch of enraged ladies during a Black Friday shopping trip gone wrong. Yeah. The man, whose identity is not currently known, was attacked by ladies at Fashion Show Mall. This is in Paradise, Nevada, and it's near the Las Vegas Strip.
Yep.
They slapped, punched, yanked his hair, and get this, even tried to pull his pants off.
There you go.
Yeah, and it was almost a kinky crime. Almost. The individual recording the video, Jonathan Gray, who is a rapper by the name of Prolific Johnny 5, recorded the incident and described the chaos. I'm continuing to walk up the stairs. I see a whole bunch of ruckus, and people are looking over the balcony. I get the look in over the balcony, too. I look down, and they're having a full-on hair fight. One of the girls was stabbed in the face. Yeah, it was stabbed in the face. It was a big chaos event during the fight, he said in an interview. And at the same time, there were a group of women who attacked another woman, dragging her on the floor and slapping her. Grace said the man did not enter the premises with the girls who attacked him. And he said, I know him on social media, so that's why we looked at each other and kind of gave a head nod. Then 10 seconds later, when he walked down the stairs, I guess he ran into trouble because he was not with those girls. The mall released a statement which said, "We are aware of a video circulating on social media. We want it to be clear that we have zero tolerance for this behavior. Our security and partners at the police department responded quickly to handle the situation and remove the individuals." When asked, whether generally a man should put his hands on a woman who are attacking him, he said, "I'll be 1,000% honest. In that situation, everyone would have caught one to the face. You're not going to pull my hair. No, I got little sisters. I got a wife. I don't hit no girl, but in the situation, I'm going to defend myself." And it is quite the melee. Look, the report I just gave you doesn't do it justice. Right. So as we always do when we talk about some interesting stuff we happen to have video on, we're going to post that video on Facebook for all you peeps.
Yeah, one looks like she made the hockey move, to pull the jersey over the head to blind the other person and pound on the move.
It seems like every year on Black Friday some shit like this happens. Usually it's over a toy or something.
Yeah, I was going to say, but they're not fighting over something that was
the latest toy.
Was in demand, that somebody took the last one or whatever. There's no Turbo Man and Arnold Schwarzenegger involved. Right?
No Turbo Man in this story, but I'll tell you, it didn't really go into detail on what started it, but it fired them women up quick, and they went to battle, and we're going to show you all of it. They even, pulling his pants off.
It's almost as good as the one, the females fighting outside the porta potty at the country music concert. Mm-hmm. That was a good one.
Oh, yeah, that was.
Let's go to Indiana, and y'all, so homie named Christopher Boyd, 32, was a passenger riding in a vehicle, and the cops pulled him over in the city of Evansville on Monday around 2 a.m. in the morning, of course. And nobody, always said there's nobody out on the road at that time except for drunks and cops and the bad guys. But why did they pull him over? Because the vehicle had a obscure license plate. Now, and in Louisiana, that's 32304C. But the cops stopped him, and the driver and a second passenger were released without charges after they were searched by police. Okay. But when officers went to pat down Christopher Boyd, they discovered a small bag with multiple pills in his right sock. Right. Boyd claimed the pills were Percocets that he had received from his Auntie Trish to help with the pain from having a bullet lodged in his spine. Well, if you got a bullet lodged in his spine and you're telling me that as a cop, I'm thinking, okay, better be on my guard, right? Boyd also said during the search that he could not spread his legs because of pain associated with a spinal injury. Well, police said when they went to search him, Boyd tensed up when they touched his groin area. Boyd was then asked if he had anything stuffed in his groin or his buttocks, and Boyd said, "No, I don't." After Boyd was transported to the county jail, he was observed walking with a limp and appeared to be clenching his buttocks when he walked. Officers decided, hey, it makes sense to put him through a body scanner, and when they did, a large object was detected in his groin region, right? So what do you do next? A strip search. A strip search revealed 2 plastic bags containing marijuana tucked next to Boyd's scrotum. Now, remember, this has happened in Indiana, and marijuana is still legal there, right?
Yep.
But after the pot was found, Boyd stopped being cooperative, and that's when officers lowered him to the ground. They made him get some real estate, right? They lowered him to the ground. I'm sure they did it gently. But one of the officers lowered Boyd's pants to remove the pot attached to what, we used to call his taint, the meaning that special spot, and taint your balls and taint your ass, that little secret spot there. Boyd reacted strongly when they did this, and he clenched his butt. And while this was happening,
it does tickle. I mean, it does tickle.
It's also a spot you can go there for other times, but we won't talk about that today because this is not a sex show. But Boyd reacted strongly and clenched his butt while this happened, but at a certain point, he loosened up enough for the officer to see a piece of the bad end of a pistol
coming out of his ass.
A pistol sticking out of his ass.
Oh wow!
A pistol.
That's bad.
So now, what do? You're down on him. Obviously, you hold him down. You strip search him by force. And who's going to reach in and grab the pistol? So what do the cops do? A quick game of rock, paper, scissors. and one of them lost.
Always go paper
right?
first. Always go paper.
But they didn't know if the gun was loaded or not. But they had to go in and remove the firearm from his anus.
You do have video of this, don't you?
Of course, a body cam video. But we're not going to post it because, again, this is not a sex show. Somebody might get off on that.
Yeah, it might be a sex show.
So the gun hidden in his ass was the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard, which is a small .380 caliber pistol, as small as you can get, and it weighs about 12 ounces, but it's about 5 inches long. 12. So the gun has a microframe size, is lightweight, and is simple to use, and is perfectly suited for concealed carry. Not
in that area.
Not in your ass. That's according to the manufacturer's website. So, but, Boyd naturally wasn't using any of the manufacturer's recommended concealed carry methods. Boyd's previous rap sheet includes convictions for attempted murder, burglary, and domestic battery. He is also the subject of an active protective order and has been classified as a serious violent felon and domestic batterer, which prohibits him from possessing a handgun, especially in his ass. Police said Boyd was charged with multiple felony drug, gun, and trafficking charges, and he was booked into the jail where he's being held without bond. So, believe it or not, check this out. At least in Louisiana, the law is when you search somebody on the street, incidental to arrest, they bring something in. A lot of times they do hidden like that. And then they get a charge for entering contraband into a penal facility. Yeah. Not penis facility, a penal facility.
Yeah.
Handgun up your ass.
They'll stick anything up there.
He probably had, he couldn't have put it up there, or probably couldn't have put it up there when he was being pulled over. He must have been.
I think
you could get it up there that fast. You have to get around his pants. The cop is looking at the car. There's a guy scrambling around to get a gun up his ass.
You stick it up your ass. I don't know, but you know what they call that in prison? Keistering it. He keistered it.
Yeah, he keistered it.
And I actually, only one other time in my career, have heard that. And they had a inmate in Angola, Jim, that they searched him, and he was acting funny or whatever. He took him and x-rayed him. He had, I don't know why. It was a semi-automatic like this, but he had not only the pistol in his ass, but he had the magazine shoved up his ass separate.
Yes. Well, the pistol don't do no good without the magazine.
Yeah. What do you think you would put the magazine inside the pistol, making less? Maybe it was a backup magazine. I'm not sure.
Bad.
I wonder if that guy could, since he had the front end coming out of his rear end, whether there was any way to manipulate to fire.
Hey, you talk about pulling the trigger with something other than whatever. How do you imagine shooting yourself in the ass when your pistol is in your ass? I'm pretty sure you're going to die.
It's got to be a good trick.
Yeah. Explain that one in court.
Okay.
Mr. Boyd.
Let's talk a little cybercrime.
All right.
Just when you thought it was safe to get back on your laptop, geek fiends have revealed a fake browser update that infects Apple computers and other Mac and iOS devices with malware that hijacks passwords and money. This is a very serious thing. It's dubbed the ClearFake scam.
I saw this.
So it's a cybernetic Trojan horse that had been targeting Windows systems since July. So this made a lot of noise back in July when people using Microsoft computers and other brands that work on Windows operating system started getting hit with this, but apparently they found their way into Macs recently. So the hashtag ClearFake campaign is not limited to Windows malware, warns cyber threat expert Ankit Anubhav. The sinister cyber phishing scheme now works by bombarding both iPhone and MacBook users with counterfeit Chrome and Safari updates. So you are receiving either by email, notifications, etc., alerts that look really good, really legit, telling you it's time to update your to the latest version of Chrome or the latest version of Safari. But when you click the prompt, your system is infected with what is called Atomic Stealer, a malware system that can pilfer passwords. It also can access photos, documents, and video files. If that weren't sophisticated enough, the system has the ability to hack data from more than 50 cryptocurrency extensions plus keychain passwords. So this ill-gotten info can be used for a variety of nefarious purposes, from extortion to identity theft. And here's the thing, that the malware is particularly insidious because they say it appears as a really credible update. While ClearFake's existence has been known since April of 23, it reportedly flies under the radar of about 50% of antivirus solutions. So just having Norton or whatever
they improved upon it, right?
Isn't going to protect you. The thing that you can do to protect yourself is only make an update if you go into settings and you see that you have an update sitting there for whatever it is, Chrome or Safari, because they can't trip that. But if you come in from an email you're sent, or you come in from some kind of a notification that you are sent, decent chance that you're going to run into this, and getting all of your passwords exposed. And
hell, I don't even know all my passwords.
I don't either. I use my fingerprint.
Mike, I've been trying to use this, by the way, to get your OnlyFans login.
Right.
It didn't work.
If anybody can hack into Mike's computer specifically, send us a PM.
They all know Mike doesn't have
It's a real deal. And there's something
account.
else coming out with the new iPhone too that I read about, like where they can just walk by you, kind of like an airdrop thing, and they scan all your shit off your phone.
Well, the new update.
The police are coming out and saying that too. Yeah.
They have a new update, from what I understand, with the Apple iPhone that essentially, when you update, it just automatically turns that on. Right. You have to go into your settings and turn it off. If
they thought it was a genius idea where you'd be able to exchange information or whatever, but they obviously didn't think from a criminal mind standpoint that all your shit's gonna be stolen. All the police departments coming. We'll give you all an update on that next week.
Yeah, and what's happening is you're now having to go through double and sometimes triple verification on things, especially when it's money you're sending around. So we all do that a lot between business and our private lives, and it's become a lot harder to just send money. It's not here, click on the person's name, and whether you're PayPal, Zelle, whatever the hell you're using, they're having to double and triple verify because of shit like that.
You heard it here first on Real Life Real Crime Daily. Protect yourself from crime, people.
We look out for our listeners.
Love our listeners.
Yes.
Be safe. Just stop paying.
Still send me an OnlyFans login.
Spark something uncommon this holiday with just the right gift from Uncommon Goods. The busy holiday season is here, and Uncommon Goods makes it less stressful with incredible hand-picked gifts for everyone on your list, all in one spot. Gifts that spark joy, wonder, delight, and that's exactly what I wanted feeling. Hey, y'all, I ordered a super cool piece. It's a candle with a sculpture of LSU's Tiger Stadium on top of it. And each officially licensed laser cut wooden replica features up to 4 layers of detail, creating a bird's eye view of a specific football field, seating section, and more. And every label includes your stadium's name, the team's logo, and school location. And it has a coconut, soy, vegan wax infused with sandalwood smell that creates tailgates and touchdowns scent profile, reminiscent of game day. It's invigorating like fresh cut grass and nostalgic like smoke from a pre-game grill. And calming like the crisp autumn air of a new semester on campus. Y'all, I love it. I have it at the base of my TV, and I'm ready to watch the Tigers play on Saturday night, right? Uncommon Goods. Look, when you shop at Uncommon Goods, you're supporting artists and small independent businesses. And many of their handcrafted products are made in small batches. So shop now before they sell out this holiday season. Uncommon Goods looks for products that are high quality, unique, and often handmade or made in the U.S. They have the most meaningful out of the ordinary gifts anywhere. They even have gifts you can personalize. From holiday hosts and hostess gifts to the coolest finds for kids, to hits for everyone from the book lovers to diehard sports fans. Uncommon Goods has something for everyone, not the same old selections you can just find anywhere. And with every purchase you make at Uncommon Goods, they give $1 to a nonprofit partner of your choice. They've donated more than $3 million to date. So to get 15% off your next gift, go to uncommongoods.com/RLRC. That's uncommongoods.com/RLRC for 15% off. Don't miss out on this limited time offer. Uncommon Goods, we're all out of the ordinary. Hey ladies, are you feeling overwhelmed by hormonal changes? Well, you're definitely not alone. There are more than 1,000 hormone disruptors living in our environment right now. It's in your food, your water, the air you breathe, the clothes you wear, your skincare products. They all mess with your hormones. Then there's the natural hormone changes your body goes through, premenopause, menopause. And while it's a natural process, it doesn't mean you have to suffer through it. The good news is you don't have to suffer through it anymore, because now you have Hormone Harmony, a formula made only with herbal ingredients that are shown to reduce hormonal symptoms in women of all ages. Hormone Harmony is not just a hormone support and supplement. It's become a phenomenon. Women can't stop talking about it on social media. A bottle of Hormone Harmony is sold every 24 seconds. And the biggest benefit? Well, my wife says it makes her feel like her own self again. And that's what women mention over and over in the reviews. And there are over 30,000 reviews for Hormone Harmony. And for a limited time, you can get 15% off your entire first order at happymammoth.com. Just use code RLRC at checkout. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC for 15% off today. That's happymammoth.com and use code RLRC.
All right. Either one of y'all ever own a Camaro?
Oh, yeah.
No, my partner had one.
I have one as well.
Actually, did you?
Yeah.
I had a Berlinetta and I had a Type LT.
Swim might have smoked a lot of weed in the Camaro when he was in high school.
Well, if you've had Camaros or you're a fan of Camaros, then you're going to get this story 100%. But when I came across it, I'm like, finally, some justice. It might have been. No, it wasn't an IROC. Right. But we'll get into it. A Texas man is fuming after he claims Dallas police were passive about helping him get his stolen Chevrolet Camaro back after it was stolen from a downtown parking garage. Frustrated, he took his matters into his own hands and claims police told him to do it, a fact that the department's disputing, and I don't know if they might have. Let me get into it for you. Watching online listings like a hawk, the Camaro owner found his engine for sale.
What?
Then the wheels.
Yep.
We can only imagine how it would feel to realize someone is parting out your beloved ride, selling it piece by piece online. Determined to get it back, he kept contacting police with details about the online seller. He said that he also went to the police station twice to speak with a detective about the case. However, he was told to leave since he was making such a fuss about it, and detectives were not available to speak to him. Then he said detectives contacted him, directing him to meet with the sellers of his parted out Camaro. Dallas police dispute that claim. Of course, meeting with known car thieves, pretending to want to buy your ride can be a little bit dangerous, right?
Absolutely.
Anyway, the guy did go to where his car was being kept and snapped a photo of it inside of what he believed to be a chop shop. Right. Armed with that evidence, the theft task force in Dallas seized the guy's Camaro from the location. And maybe the Camaro owners should have been put in contact with them from the get-go. We see cases like this all the time, and our first thought is always about how many stolen car cases police must be fielding along with many other crimes. That's not an excuse, but in some cities, theft problems are so bad that police are they're completely overwhelmed, especially cities like Dallas. You're always going to care about your own car more than the police. That's just a fact. Some police departments have more resources available to actively get your ride back, while others just don't. And we get into when we get into that latter situation and we're on the other end of that, it's very frustrating. So the important thing to remember in all that, number one, don't meet with the people that are selling your car unless you're a trained professional like Woody.
Yeah, right. But the other thing is, and I get it. Yeah, they may be general detectives or whatever, and they're working hot cases and what have you, and a stolen car to them is like not that big of a deal. Yeah. But if you don't like the answer your detective gives you, ask to speak to a supervisor.
There you go.
Everybody has to answer to somebody and say, hey, you know what? I got these pictures, and then somebody will make them get up and go do their job.
Yeah. So look, but we all can relate to wanting your Camaro back.
Absolutely.
That's the important
Camaro love.
Absolutely. Let me ask you a question. What is arugula? Arugula. What is that?
It's a green vegetable that is used in salads or used as the base of a salad, just like you might use kale or other kind of lettuce.
I'm not a fan of kale.
You like arugula, though. It's oftentimes put on Italian salads.
Oh, I'm down with Italian salads. I got top of my levee planted with collard greens and mustards and turnips. Three different sections, but not for me. It's for the deer. All right, so how you say it? Arugula? Arugula. So there's a New York City area salad shop / restaurant franchise called Chopped, CHOPT. They normally make a good quality fast salads to go, but you can also dine in. This week, the chain's name took on an all-new meaning as a horrified customer launched a lawsuit against them. Customer Allison Kazi of Greenwich, Connecticut, claims she found a human finger inside her leafy lunch at Mount Kisco, New York location back on April 7th this year. Her lawsuit, launched in New York Supreme Court on Monday, says that while she was eating the salad, she bit into something very hard and rough, and when she pulled the piece from her mouth, she realized she was chewing on a portion of a human finger.
Oh, man.
All right?
Not good.
Yeah, holy fuck. According to the court documents, the manager of the restaurant had sliced off a portion of her left pointer finger while chopping arugula earlier that day. The manager went to the hospital, but the contaminated arugula was served to customers, including Kazi, the lawsuit says. Westchester County Health Department records show that Chop paid a $900 fine for the incident, and Kazi said in a lawsuit that she suffered injuries including shock, panic attacks, migraine, cognitive impairment, nausea, dizziness, and neck and shoulder pains as a result of eating the contaminated salad.
Neck and shoulder pain?
She had a good lawyer. She had a good ambulance check.
God.
She is seeking unspecified damages, right? Her lawsuit accuses Chop employees and owners of being reckless, careless, and neglect in providing food that was contaminated and adulterated with foreign object consisting of a portion of human finger. I'm pretty sure if your manager cuts off your finger, you need to try to retrieve it. Right?
Yeah.
So the Chop Creative Salad Company, a chain with more than 70 locations across the eastern United States, does not offer a comment on the case, naturally. And Kazi's attorney says she's not going to comment any further. Shockingly, this isn't the first time a customer eating at a major food chain has found a severed finger in the food, as similar encounters have been documented around the world. In Australia, in Melbourne, a lady found a fingernail in her McDonald's fries, and that's not good. In California, a pregnant woman discovered a bloody fingertip in her salad while she dined at Applebee's. Oh, Lord. Michigan Arby's also served a teenage boy an inch-long segment of finger in his junior roast beef sandwich.
See, that one I would have thought might have gone unnoticed, but a finger in arugula is green.
Yeah.
A finger.
Maybe they chop up the arugula. I don't know how big a arugula bush is, and maybe they chopped it all up. And I mean,
no, but if you're it's the manager of the store who chopped it off while she was chopping arugula. So
I imagine
logically,
they rushed her out to the hospital, and the rest of them were like, "Fuck it, it's not my job."
Yeah. Look, I don't like finding a hair in my food. I can only imagine a finger.
I'm not queer about a lot of things, but I don't want to eat somebody's body part in my food. Right? And like Mike, we obviously know he's been banned forever from the restaurant world because he'll spit in your food and shit.
Yeah, I would never put my chopped finger in there, though. That's over the line.
But not pubic hair, say.
I never did pubic hair. Occasional booger.
Oh God!
Which, when it's in tuna fish salad,
stop
exactly
it, bro! Stop!
It just takes on the environment
can't do
that it's in.
I can't hear you.
I only did it once. She was really she was very mean to me.
Did she choke on it?
No.
Hey, when you pulled the booger, did your head cave in?
I went for a deep dig. For sure. Right. Well, our absolute favorite All Woody team member is back in the news. He took about a week off or so. Let's go to South Carolina and Alex Murdaugh, the prison heartthrob who would never hurt Maggie or Pawpaw, was given the harshest crime sentence ever issued by the state for a white-collar crime. Murdaugh pleaded guilty. So this was a plea deal where he pleaded guilty to 22 of the 101 counts against him for fraud, for all of these deals where he stole money from clients. And he agreed to a 27-year prison sentence surrounding those 22 guilty pleas. And he agreed to waive his right to an appeal. So, based upon that, he'll be eligible for parole after serving 85% of his sentence, which would be 22.95 years or 8,382 days.
Is it the point moot that he's doing life sentences already? Well,
he's got double life sentences for the murders.
Yeah.
But I think he thinks that he has some kind of a chance
he's wrong, so he can die once and Jesus can bring him back to life, and then die a second time and bring him back to life, and he's still got to serve this 27 years.
Well, I think he's 54, something like that, 54. So if somehow they were to overturn his murder convictions, he would, 74, 77, he could get out, could get parole at age 77 if somehow they won those. State Attorney Creighton Waters estimated that Murdaugh stole more than $12.4 million from clients over a decade. Tony Satterfield, whose late mother Gloria was the one that got shoved down the stairs and died soon thereafter, was directly addressed Murdaugh in the court on Tuesday and told him that he forgives his lying and stealing. My heart is with you and my prayers are with you, he told the disgraced lawyer. Despite Satterfield's forgiving tone, the family's attorney, Eric Bland, was not as kind, telling Murdaugh he feels, quote, good that Murdaugh will never breathe a fresh breath of air again. I think there's a few people who agree with you.
I agree.
Gloria's sister also asked Murdaugh, quote, do you not have a soul? Murdaugh apologized to his victims, telling them he knows he did terrible things, but that he still cares for each of them. I'm so sorry, he said. Murdaugh continues to maintain his innocence in the double murder of his wife Maggie and son Pawpaw. The jury saw things differently and gave him a double life sentence. His lawyers continue to work on their appeals there and trying to get a new trial. For the first time, his son Buster did not show up for a court date involving his daddy.
Still with that girl?
Well,
Buster's a player.
We've got to do a little bit of work there, Woody. I know I lost the bet because the time period is over, but he did, even though Buster wasn't there. Murdaugh said, Buster, I am so sorry that I let you down. I'm so sorry that I've not been able to be with you during such hard times. He also told Buster that, quote, the whole family is proud of you, including Maggie and Pawpaw and myself.
Oh, Lord. Let me tell you something. I'm gonna go back to and digress to something, the story we talked about the other day, George Floyd. And I absolutely hate that he died or got murdered. That cop, I can't remember, Chauvin, whatever his name is, that he got stabbed in prison. I guarantee the next national one that's going to get stabbed in prison, is going to be this asshole.
Look, here's the funny thing. And yes, you're right. Well, any high profile, you're making a name for yourself. But here's the funny thing. So Mike's from New York, right?
Right.
So Southern accents might throw him off a little bit.
Yeah.
So you keep saying pawpaw, but that's not what it is. It's Paul.
No.
His name is Paul, and his nickname is Paul. But
No,
he's Southern. So
I
he's
understand
Pawpaw.
his name is Paul, but his nickname, his father, it's Paw. And that's exactly how it's written in every article on this story. So
I thought
take
it was
take it up.
Paw.
That makes a lot more sense, and I thought that for
He might be right.
for the first 75 stories we did on Murdaugh, but then
I'm
I
calling
saw
Murdaugh, and I'm asking him.
all of the media doing Paw.
Mike's got him on OnlyFans. So we can just hit him up on his.
Look,
I thought he was saying Paul, but I happened to look at his notes down there, and it said Paw, and I'm like, oh, well, maybe he thinks it's
very
Paw.
happy not to mention either Alec or Pawpaw's names again.
I think we should investigate.
He's about to get shanked. So
Yeah, you're right.
Justice.
Well, yeah, either
When
way.
they stab him and say, I wouldn't hurt Maggie or Paw or whatever the fuck his name is. Dead kid.
Fox News is running a huge thing on that. They keep promoting it. I see it on my Facebook page. I don't know if y'all have seen
I
that.
wish they were running the shit we were running.
Yeah, that's right.
Promoting what? Promoting
just interviews with Buster.
Oh, really?
Buster's got his own,
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Okay, Buster's busting out.
Yeah.
Well, we'll have to see if the girlfriend's there.
Well, we're going to go to Ohio, and we're going to talk about, look, judges. There's some judges out there that they might let people skate on things, but not this one. This one is one of those judges, when you hear the sentence they handed down, you're like, yeah, that's what we need in this, in this country. An Ohio woman convicted of assault for throwing her Chipotle order at an employee was given a unique opportunity.
I've never eaten there. I see commercials for it. And
I didn't know that.
I've never been there. Have you eaten there?
It's good stuff.
I've ate there.
Do they have arugula?
They do have arugula.
They
Yes.
might possibly
They're
have
big
that.
on arugula.
Sorry. Yeah.
That's okay. Chipotle order at an Ohio woman was convicted of an assault for throwing her Chipotle order at an employee, and she was given a unique opportunity to reduce her sentence. Parma Municipal Court Judge Timothy Gilligan. I was waiting for somebody to laugh because his name was
Can I sing
Gilligan.
the song for you?
Sentenced 39-year-old Rosemary Hain Tuesday after she was found guilty of one count of assault. At her sentencing hearing, the judge told Hain she could have the chance to work off her sentence by working at a fast food restaurant. You didn't get your burrito bowl the way you liked it, and this is how you respond, he said. This is not Real Housewives of Parma. This behavior is not acceptable. Yeah, this judge, look, I'm loving this guy. Hain reportedly apologized to the court and the Chipotle worker, Emily Russell, and said there's no excuse for her behavior, but she added she was not happy with the way her food was prepared. If I showed you how my food looked and how my food looked a week later from the same restaurant, it's disgusting, Hain said. 3 months ago, a video showing Hain's confrontation with Russell was posted to Reddit, and it went viral. Someone with a cell phone recorded as Hain took her Chipotle order to the counter, slammed it down in front of Russell, and moments later, she is seen throwing the entire bowl in the worker's face. I bet you won't be happy with the food you're going to get in jail, Judge Gilligan said.
Oh,
Love this guy. I got to look him up. Right. Hain was sentenced to 180 days in jail with 90 days suspended. The judge told Hain he would give her 60 days jail credit if she agreed to work at least 20 hours per week at a fast food restaurant for 2 months. Hain said she intended to get a job at a restaurant. Gilligan said she was appalled at the defendant's actions and intended the sentence to teach her a lesson and deter similar crimes. Shout out to this Parma judge.
Good creative punishment.
Good.
You need to know what it's like to work in a fast food restaurant.
Remember how
basically what he's saying.
What's his name from He owns Dallas Mavericks and is on the Money Show. What's his name?
Oh,
he made a comment about
Mark
Cuban.
Something about wouldn't work at a Dairy Queen or whatever, and he caught some shit about it. He actually wouldn't work today at a Dairy Queen, and he was like, "I got mad respect for y'all."
So speaking of Gilligan,
I'm gonna go back to
Ginger,
making billions.
Ginger or Marianne?
Absolutely, Marianne.
It's Ginger for me.
Yeah, Ginger.
I'm a Marianne
Ginger been
too.
around a little bit.
Well,
not on the island.
It's called experience.
She couldn't.
She knows some tricks, probably. That's what I'm thinking.
Was she going to cheat on you with the skipper or?
I'm kind of warm for the form of the billionaire's wife. What was her name? The old lady.
Fluffy. What did he? Wait. Professor Mary. Wait.
All right.
Wait. What? Gilligan, the skipper to the millionaire and his wife. They never tell you.
Right. So as a millionaire back then, wouldn't be a billionaire today. All right. Listen, the animal stories we bring y'all have got to have some type of law enforcement or crime in them, and this one does. And this is no stranger.
Mike is currently appealing the board on this topic.
No, this is no stranger to one of us in this room. But police in New Jersey have found a baby python. Rutgers University Police Department wrote in a Facebook post on Monday that an officer had recovered a young python in a dorm room on campus. Officer Rebecca Phillips responded to the Voorhees Residence Hall for a report of a snake inside the dorm. According to police, the snake was turned over to animal control. Campus police said that all support animals need to get approval from the university. Now, it is unclear exactly why campus police believe the young snake was a student's emotional support animal. Snakes are not known to be particularly empathetic like Woody Overton. The RRC Daily I-Team happens to have a journalist on the ground in New Jersey who is reporting that the Rutgers Popo might not have cracked this case. Confirmed reports tell the I-Team that this is Hell Week for Rutgers fraternities, and the snake was allegedly part of a prank designed to startle a targeted female undergrad. More on this story as it develops, and pythons can grow as long as 30 feet and live 25 years or longer, but they are non-venomous. Okay, so my roommate in college, he had one.
I also had them.
I'm not going to, well, I know.
Well, other than yeah. Like two, I guess I had two.
I'm not even going to tell that. That's a swim story. But that some bitch, after he fed him, when he fed him, he had him in this big tank. And look, he put golf clubs on top of his school books. And every time after he fed him, like the next day, he had like superhuman strength. And he would get out it was a big yellow and white one. He would get out in our apartment. And I'm in the room looking for him one time. And like that story you told about him going from house to house, this thing was in the top drawer of a dresser, but he'd gone along the wall and his head was behind the curtain.
Oh, he's a big
He
boy.
was a big son of a bitch.
Yeah, the one I had was known as a ball python, and they call them that because they ball up in a ball when they're when they're docile. But I had it for about a year and a half, and then
pretty interesting.
My friend, I gave it to my friend, but yeah.
Do not get the snake thing. But what I do think is going on is there's a resurgence in fraternities getting a little bit wild out there.
Well, no, back in our day, you're a Greek or you weren't. Nowadays, it's GDIs is more important. But I still think, and always will, I'll carry my Greek days with me forever and the brotherhoods I developed.
Well, I can imagine taking a girls' dorm, a floor full of like freshman girls, and letting a snake loose on that could get pretty.
I did that all the time.
That could get pretty crazy. I'd love to have seen that.
Hey, y'all, let me tell you about Gobble. All Gobble meal kits are pre-prepped. That means less work for you and less waste in your kitchen. Their meal kits include everything you need so you can save time at the store or just skip that trip entirely. I got the box in and I had 3 different meals. I had a Kung Pao chicken, crispy fish tacos, and a beef bourguignon, however you say it. But let me tell you about the classic beef bourguignon. Look, it came with beef pot roast and a beef broth concentrate, red wine demi-glaze, cremini mushrooms, cipollone onions, mashed potatoes, baby carrots, and rosemary thyme butter. It was so easy to make. Literally like 15 minutes it took Cindy. And let me tell you something. And all the dishes were fire, but this thing was like a taste explosion in my mouth. It's just unreal. We got to spend more time together and more time doing the things we love because everything came in this one single box right to my door. So see what a difference Gaba will make for your household. Right now, they're offering my listeners a fantastic limited time deal. You get $120 off across 4 boxes, plus free shipping and free cookies. And let me tell you, those cookies, I ate one that was sin baked and it was delicious. Go to gobble.com/real life. That's GOBBLE.com/real life for $120 off your first 4 boxes. This offer is not available on the home site, so don't miss out. This is genius. It's taste explosions in your mouth like you never had.
O'Reilly. You've got questions? O'Reilly Auto Parts has answers. Need a pro you can trust? We've got that too. No matter what you need, our professional parts people have the training and expertise to help you do things right. Deep automotive knowledge. Just one part that makes O'Reilly stand apart. The professional parts people.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Oh, we haven't crossed the pond in a while, boys.
All right, where are you going across the pond?
God, I'm going to just an unfrickin' believable story. The British government ordered an inquiry a while back, and the results of this inquiry came back on Tuesday, and it found that there were serious failings at hospitals where an electrician who was later convicted of murder had been able to have sex with more than 100 corpses over 15 years without being detected. 100
hard to catch a smart criminal.
100 corpses. David Fuller's necrophilia was uncovered back in 2020 when police used DNA to tie him to the 1987 slayings of 2 women and also discovered millions of images of sexual abuse in his home. The images included videos of him having sex with the dead bodies of women and girls in the mortuaries at 2 hospitals where he worked in Southeast England. The offenses that David Fuller committed were truly shocking. It's a 308-page report that was put together. However, the failures of management, governance, regulation, and processes, and a persistent lack of curiosity all contributed to the creation of an environment in which he was able to continue to offend. Fuller, who's 69 now, is serving a life sentence with no chance of release after pleading guilty to those 2 counts of murder we talked about. The inquiry was launched to find out how Fuller was able to get away with it, and why he was able to get away with it for so long. So, I mean, 100 different corpses.
I've seen them all, studied them all, the fetishes and shit like that. And I always tell y'all, almost as important for them to commit the act is to record it. And I think I've seen too many dead bodies. I've actually had to go back in after autopsies when they forgot to clip some pubic hairs for a sample and clip pubic hairs off a dead body. I am not sexually aroused by a dead body, and no matter how fine they are.
Yeah,
this guy was meticulous.
Disgusting.
So he kept a record of at least 101 women between the age of 9 and 100, and had time-stamped photos and video of each and every instance.
So he'd go back and jack off to them. And when he couldn't get to the bodies, he used that for his porn. So,
and he said for many of these, there were other employees actually in
it makes it more exciting, right? Thrill of the ill-gotten booty is stuff you're not supposed to have.
But how the hell did you get away with something
because
that
it's
crazy?
Hard to catch smart criminals. He got away with it for a long time until he didn't. And now he'll be the next one to get shanked in prison, but it'll just be from England.
Yeah, it'll be an English shank.
An English shank?
English shank.
Hello, mate.
You sick bastard.
Aren't you? Because they always answer in their sentences with a question.
Yeah. You a sick bastard, aren't you?
That's right. I can't figure that out.
Yeah. No laughing matter. That guy's disgusting. Fuck him. Yep. We got to get on to...
By the way, we should shout out after that there's absolutely less than 0% chance of anything remotely resembling anything like that happening up in Broussard, Louisiana.
We need to get Roy and Chris on the show one day just to compile these, like a special show, like for a holiday drop or something. We're out and compile these sick ass stories about these crematories and autopsies and everything's wrong, and let them tell us how fucked up that is.
Merry Christmas. Here's our a holiday edition of corpses.
Yeah, sex with corpses.
That'd be a good Halloween special.
Hiding corpses and not taking care of them.
There you go.
What kind of a sick F do you have disgusting. To be to do that?
Pretty bad. Oh, hi.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Well, thank you, Tiffany. And we are at another Mile High Crime stage of the show. And look, we have an update on a story. It might be the first update on a Mile High Crime you've gotten that we just brought to you. And yet another confirmation that Woody is the king of crime as he nailed another one on the head with no information. So let me tell you what's going on here. Now, over the Thanksgiving weekend, we gave you just a few days ago a headline about a Southwest Airlines passenger becoming the subject of opening the exit door on a Boeing 737 that was about to take off from the New Orleans airport. Yep. And he jumped from one of the wings and then attempted to escape in a service truck on the tarmac. Told you about that story. The driver was promptly restrained and taken to a nearby hospital for evaluation. And if you remember, he didn't get arrested. Right. There were no charges. He didn't have any weapons and all of that. And Woody had made a comment.
Coroners weren't. I mean,
well, Woody nailed it. That's why
I didn't know. I didn't know about the update, but I figured that if he didn't get arrested, he had to be a little bit cray-cray.
That's right. He was found to be in the midst of a mental health emergency, and because he didn't have any weapons, there were no criminal charges filed. Now, while the aviation world's news cycle was dominated by this incident, a similar situation took place around the same time on a Korean Air flight headed from New York's John F. Kennedy Airport to Seoul, South Korea, on November 23rd. The attempt was stopped by the crew members in that case. Reportedly, a 26-year-old woman tried to open the plane's exit door approximately 10 hours into a 16-hour flight. What? So they were in the freaking air, brother.
Oh, Lord, they killed everybody.
Flight crew stopped her in her attempt before she could succeed, while some of the witnesses on the plane described her as displaying symptoms of anxiety. Now, the attempt was stopped by our crew members, and the passenger was arrested by the airport police upon arrival, that from Korean Air spokespeople. Upon landing, the woman was arrested by police, and she tested positive for meth.
Yeah,
imagine that, and could face as many as 10 years in prison and fined $77,000. She is a South Korean citizen coming home after spending 6 months in New York. So passengers keep trying to open plane doors. I'm seeing this a lot when researching these Mile High Crimes. And here's how the industry is addressing the problem. South Korean Airlines in particular has been struggling with an increase of passengers attempting to open those doors. Back in May, a passenger aboard a Seoul-based flight with Asiana Airlines caused the injury of 12 others after opening the exit door of an Airbus just 2 minutes before it was supposed to land. The man was eventually arrested and charged with violating aviation security laws, but 12 other passengers of the plane had to be hospitalized for breathing problems. And then last month, a teenager was sentenced to 3 years in prison in South Korea after trying and failing to open an exit door on another flight from the Philippines to Seoul. So after the most recent Korean Air incident, the South Korean government moved fast to draft a new law requiring airlines to warn passengers about not opening plane doors. So apparently, the answer is, hey, we're gonna make a law where you have to say, don't open this door in the middle of the flight.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
It's a bad thing.
That's like the Anti-Rape Prevention Act in Louisiana prisons.
Yeah.
You have to make that rule up, right? Because
somebody broke it. Yeah, and somebody broke it at one point, right? But it struck me. This whole story struck me because I'm like, man, you got to come up with a better plan than just telling people don't open the door.
Yeah, the deterrence factor of the don't open the door. How about this? I don't know what the statistics say, but chances are over time, very, very, I'm thinking of Sully landing the plane in the Hudson, maybe the only example I can come up with of people actually using the emergency exit door to benefit the people on the flight. I just assume they solder those frickin' things shut with all these crazy people hopping on these flights, or some kind of secret combination that only the flight crew knows, something to keep a meth head from being able to do that. Better idea.
So they always like to get that exit row deal for a little more leg room, right? Mm-hmm. So you just need to put the biggest, baddest motherfucker on.
That's what I'm saying.
And if somebody touches the door, they lost me. You could just knock them the fuck out.
Well, you had air marshals for so long that would sit on flights. Maybe for these airlines that are having problems, Congress can pass. Look, you're going to pass a law saying don't freaking open the door. Why don't you pass a law requiring airlines that have consistent issues with this, or maybe all airlines, to have an air marshal sit in that spot, and that's their job. Like, they just fly all day.
Or even an incentive, because what they're doing now with Clear and some of these services, I mean, the government knows everything they need to know about me, and the way that you board is I go like this, and they read my eyes. I'm boarding a flight tomorrow. I'll get there 5 minutes before. It reads my eyes, and I go right on board. If you know you can trust the person, put them in the seat.
Well, they always ask you, do you have a problem opening the door and da-da-da-da? No. Are you physically able to open the door? Yes. Then they just need to add one more question.
Are you currently on that?
Knock somebody the fuck out if they try to touch the door.
Yes. Yeah. I love it. Well, that's our Mile High Crime for today.
You can now take off that belt and move freely around the cabin.
Yeah. Kinky Crimes on Friday. Y'all,
my favorite.
Just
Fridays.
Can't get away from OnlyFans, people. And I need somebody to send me their shit. Because I'm being honest with the world. I tried to log on to OnlyFans on my phone. It just doesn't work. I think I told y'all that before. So anyway, somebody send me this shit so I can see what it's all about. But an OnlyFans model, Danny Banks, received more than just a penalty flag on Sunday at the Allegiant Stadium at the Las Vegas Raiders as they beat the Jets 16-12. Banks posted a video on her Instagram showing herself flashing her breasts inside the stadium.
Hey,
well,
that's a crime.
She was wearing.
It is Vegas.
She was wearing a top that had the word Raiders, on it across her chest. She said that security and police officers swooped in and threw her out of the stadium. She said they must have seen her in the moment because the video did not get posted until she was already out of the stadium. Oops, she captioned the clip. Banks' clip was posted to her more than 8 million followers on Instagram.
Hey.
The stunt appeared to have violated Allegiant Stadium's code of conduct. All guests in attendance required to wear clothing, i.e. shirts, pants, shoes, for safety. Nudity, partial nudity, body paint, and pasties are prohibited. Any action
pasties are prohibited?
That's what I don't understand.
Come on now.
I ain't going to a titty bar. The landing strip outside of Detroit does not have to wear pasties.
No pasties.
What's the point? Right?
That's right.
But any action deemed to be indecent exposure and or clothing that is deemed offensive to scene or displays offensive text and or images is prohibited, and the stadium's management reserves the right to deny entry or eject guests based on the requirements. But She must have thought she was on Bourbon Street.
Yeah. I mean, she's just showing a little
right
cleavage.
Oh, well, let me see if I got a picture of her. Oh, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, so post that.
We'll post her online.
She got 8 million Instagram followers?
8 million.
Oh, she's getting paid.
Yeah. Oh, she's getting paid.
I can't imagine what she's making on OnlyFans.
And look, this right here, doing a little flashy flash. That's going to get her a few more OnlyFans. Mike's already writing her name down.
That must be an NFL thing, because I would think the stadium in Vegas would be all for allowing people to do that. And the Oakland A's are also are following the Raiders now. The Oakland A's are moving to Vegas, so maybe they'll be able to do it at baseball games.
Jose Canseco is going to be flashing people.
Well, it's been a year or two since Jose wore the A's uniform. Jim,
at least a year or two.
Jim's sports references.
Bash Brothers
go to the same decade, I think.
Mort McGuire.
Give me some banjos.
Banjos, dumb criminals.
Probably not the most appropriate intro to a Motown story. The home of the landing strip.
Yeah, Detroit. I love me some Motown.
We're going to Motown. And just in case you two thought our discussion before today's episode was going to keep me from having an animal story in today's show,
oh, Lord,
you were wrong. Patrick and Janice had dated for nearly 4 years, but when Janice laid down the shit or get off the pot ultimatum to Patrick, he opted to move on with his life.
He got off the pot.
He got off the pot.
There you go.
This was not the response that Janice had anticipated. And the 45-year-old former circus animal trainer was none too pleased. Not quite ready to move on and being a fan of the old axiom, don't get mad, get even, Janice decided to use her skills as an animal trainer to extract her revenge. While working with lions was not an option, the Detroit suburbs are flush with squirrels. Janice began immediately working with a group of the little rodents at a nearby park. 6 or so weeks later, she and her furry army were ready to put their plan into action. Patrick had graciously accepted her offer to get together at a local park to catch up. He made it clear he was now in a new relationship and that they'd be meeting purely as friends. When Patrick arrived that day, it was clear that he had beaten Janice there, as the bench they agreed to meet at was empty. What the heck, he figured, I'll sit down and wait a few minutes. Immediately, a couple of very friendly squirrels came strolling right up to him at the bench. Obviously, park visitors had fed all of these squirrels so much that they no longer feared humans. But suddenly 4 squirrels became 10 squirrels, and then 10 squirrels became maybe 20 squirrels. And that's when the first bite was taken. The vicious creatures attacked ferociously. Patrick jumped up and ran, but they were all over his body. His hands, his neck, and his lower legs were covered in blood. As he turned while struggling to fight off the creatures, he saw her. She was hiding behind a bush, but her head popped up several times, and he could hear her making the strange commands.
Oh, my God.
At that moment, Janice, a.k.a. the Squirrel Whisperer, decided to call off her army.
Oh, my God.
A woman had been watching this unfold in disbelief and had called 911 minutes earlier. The police arrived a moment or two later and caught up with Janice and a large school of squirrels. Janice did not give the attack signal to her pets. Instead, she passively accepted her arrest. Patrick would need stitches in several places, including the family jewels, but he survived. The Detroit police said, quote, "The woman confessed to capturing and training squirrels to harass and attack her ex-boyfriend."
Oh, my God.
She was being held on several charges. Janice specifically requested we play some banjos for her pets. They apparently love
that has to be
the banjos.
The dumbest fucking criminal story of all time. Get you another hobby. You train to attack squirrels? I'm speechless on that one.
I'm speechless on that.
Well,
One.
you
I didn't
know,
even know that was possible.
I apologize to KJ. I know this is, if you're listening.
Oh,
this
yeah.
probably her. I'm sure
Joe Burrows.
I'm sure she would have no impact on your lovely pet, but she was able to convert these critters.
Wow.
That's crazy.
Unbelievable. Well, Woody Overton, what you think? Any final thoughts?
Just the usual, y'all. Thank you so much for letting us do what we do. Bless and continue to like and share and all that good stuff.
Mike?
I'm still thinking about the squirrels.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my thing with somebody have to call bullshit on that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
She can train lions. She can sure shit train squirrels.
I'd say so. Well, my final thought would be don't open the freaking airplane
Yeah.
emergency door.
Yeah,
I mean, or else we're going to pass a law telling you not to.
Clone a younger Woody Overton and put him on every airplane in the world.
Yeah, there you go.
Baseball at.
That's right. All right, until next time, I'm Jim Chapman.
And I'm Woody Overton.
And I'm Mike Agovino.
For real life, real crime daily. Peace.
Aglets.